Last week, New York prosecutors charged the Trump Organization and its chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, with 15 felonies for violating various tax laws. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So last week, Thursday, July 1st, Alan Weisselberg, he voluntarily presented himself at the Manhattan DA's office of Cyrus Vance for his arraignment, and he pleaded not guilty. Now, how do we know that this is not politically motivated? Well, because the DA's office in Manhattan, they told us. They said, hey, this is not politically motivated. We're not just going after him because we really are trying to go after Trump and anybody that's involved with Trump. Trust us, we don't have the biggest crush in the universe on Donald Trump and just can't get over it, so we just can't let him go. Come on, it's not about Trump. That's pretty much word for word what Cy Vance said. So it's not politically motivated. Just trust him. I think, seriously, they had a picture of his wall. It was decked out, ceiling to floor, big, huge color photos of Donald Trump. So I don't know what kind of fascination Cy Vance has with Donald Trump, but he's got one. He really does. Yeah, I mean, the Donald Trump pillow was a little much. That was starting to get weird, but I think everything else was fine. All right, so here is a copy of the indictment, and I have read through it. It's very exciting stuff. And they have like 15 felonies that they're charging the Trump Organization and Alan Weisselberg with. One of the things I liked in the indictment was that they referred to this off-the-books scheme that they had, but then they immediately started detailing on how they knew about it is because they got the books and it was documented in the books. So I'm not really sure that the Manhattan DA's office knows what off-the-books means. So if something's off the books, that means when you get the books, it's not in the books. So if the first thing you do is you say, hey, we found out about it in the books, it actually means it's in the books. So I don't know, maybe next time just leave that part out. Because it was in the books, right? That's how you had it in the indictment. That's how you knew about it. It was in the books. All right, so the charges against Weisselberg, they amounted to failing to pay taxes on some corporate perks. So like cars, apartments, private school tuition for executive children, those kinds of things, I guess he was not paying taxes on, and that's what they're trying to get him for. So the indictment said that Weisselberg was one of the biggest beneficiaries of what was going on here, and that he received, I think it was $1.76 million in benefits that he should have paid taxes on. Now, keep in mind, I think this was over a period starting back in 2005. So it looks like the time period was at least 10 years, maybe more. So that's $1.76 million over this 10-plus year period that they're currently looking at. And just a little side note, the Manhattan DA's office budget is $125 million per year, and they're probably spending about $124 million a year going after Donald Trump. So, I mean, it's not a great return on investment, because that's per year. But they work for a government, the DA's office. Luckily, they don't really have to justify, what they're doing to anyone. So do you know who was not charged in this indictment? Donald Trump. Donald Trump wasn't charged, and neither of his sons were charged either. As you may recall, in February, Cy Vance got a hold of 8 years of Trump's tax returns. So he has had a lot of information to look at, and after going through all of that, this is what the indictment had in it, were these counts against the Trump Organization and the CFO, Alan Weisselberg. So do you think they have more on Trump and they're going to be trying to have another indictment later? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking if they would have had something, it would have been in this indictment. And they're probably thinking they're going to put the screws to Weisselberg and now he's going to turn on Trump and then all sorts of stuff is going to happen. I think that's what they're thinking. I mean, I highly doubt that's going to happen just because I think if they had something, it would be in the tax returns and in the books that they have. But their strategy could be that we're going to get Weisselberg in here. We're going to try to get him to flip on Trump, and we'll see what happens. I highly doubt that, but we'll see what happens. It does seem like in most cases like this, people usually settle civilly. You know, they're like hefty fines or audits, but this does seem to be a little bit over the top. I mean, Weisselberg, he came in voluntarily to give himself up. They still handcuffed him, walked out in front of a bunch of reporters with him, like some kind of perp walk. It seems to smack of political theater and motivation to me, which I don't think we want our district attorneys doing things like that. I think we want them just focused on upholding the law and not thinking about who's involved or who they work for, which it really smells like that's what's going on here. All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.